Hey guys, want to create AI that switches states using motion matching? Welcome to Unreal Made Easy. Today I'll show you how to set up animations, blueprints that can be used for AI and player characters. First we're going to cover setting up the animations. Next we're going to create an AI blueprint. And then finally we're going to complete the motion matching animation blueprint. Okay, so let's not waste any time and let's begin. Okay, so in order to start our AI motion match project, the first thing we're going to need is some animations, and we're going to snag them from the actual Lyra project. And inside this project, we're going to create the actual motion match folder and then transfer it to our third person fresh project. So, okay, so now that you've installed and opened up the project, we're going to go to our content folder. And what we're going to do is we're going to create our motion match folder here. So let's go ahead and start by starting a new folder. Call it motion match. And then from this point, we're going to go and grab select animations. So to get those animations, we're going to go to characters, heroes, the mannequin folder, animations, and we want this locomotion right here. So the two that we want are going to be the unarmed. So we're going to hold down control and left click. We're going to also hold down control and hit left click on the rifles. So we have both of those selected. And then over here in the project, we're going to scroll to the very bottom. And we're going to scroll up slowly until we find our motion match. We're going to left click, hold, drag, and then place these two into there. But we're not going to move here. We're just going to copy here so we can leave our Lyra project intact. So we can copy here. Yes, we're going to do all of the animations there. And yes, we want to verify we're sure. Okay, now let's go ahead and go back to the top of the folder, go to the content folder, go back to our motion match, and you can see we've got our two copies of our animations we're going to use. Now, we're going to clean this up a little bit before we send it to our project. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit the filter button, we're going to go to animations, and we're going to select the blend spaces and the blend space 1D. And we're also going to select the animation blueprint because we won't need any of those. So let's click out of here, do a left click, do a control A, and then a delete. And yes, we can go ahead and delete those animations there. Next, we can go ahead and clear these filters. So just hit the reset filter here. And then we're going to type in 180 because those are going to be all the turns. We're not going to need those. So we're going to left click again, control A, and select delete. Yes, we're going to delete everything. Next, we're going to grab the pivots. Same exact thing, control A, and delete. Because we won't be using the pivots as well. Delete all those. And then we're going to also grab, I want to say the entry. So we won't need these entry animations, so go ahead and delete those. Nor will we need the exit. We can go ahead and delete those. Next, we're going to look at the idle. And we can do a control A. Or wait, to do a left click and then a control A. And what we're looking for here is anything that says scan. Well, we want the crouch animation. So make sure we hold down control, do a left click, and we're going to keep our, let's see, crouch animation for the rifle. And we also want to keep our crouch for the unarmed. And we also want to keep anything that says scanned. So we're going to look for that. So get the hip fire fidget. So here's the scan right here. We're going to keep, there's only going to be two. So there's this scan here. And then let's see. And the other scan here. And then we can go ahead and select delete. So we've deselected the crouch, both the crouches and the idles for the crouch. And we also deselected the scans. So we're going to go ahead and delete, force delete. Now when you're done, you should have all of these here. Okay. So let's go ahead and do a Control Shift S. Oh, I almost forgot. So one more thing we're going to grab is anything that says overdrive. Let's see. So this, yes. Yeah, we can delete all this. So just type in over. Yeah, the override poses, we don't need these. We can go ahead and get rid of those and force delete. Okay, so now we go back to our motion match folder here, right click it, and we're going to select migrate. Now we can go ahead and deselect the characters button here, and we're going to scroll all the way down. As you can see here, we don't need the effects either. And then we do want to keep our motion match folder we just created. Scroll all the way down to the very bottom, and we don't need this physics material folder as well. Select OK. Okay, so you want to find out where your project is and put it into my project, or whatever the name of your project is. Select the content folder. Make sure the content folder is selected here and hit select. Now, once you're back into your third-person project, we're going to go ahead and open the folder up. And then right here, we'll see we've got our folder within the project. Now, before we continue, we're going to have to actually enable the plugin. So let's go ahead and we're going to do two things here. We're going to go to Edit, and we're going to go to Editor Preferences. And then right here in the general appearance, right here under Asset Open Location, we're going to change that from a default to the main window. So that way we're just opening up tabs instead of opening up brand new tabs on top of each other. And then we're going to hit the edit again, but this time we're going to go to the plugins. Up here, all you have to type is TRAJ, and that's going to give us our motion match trajectory plugin. Click yes, and make sure it's checked, and then we're just going to go ahead and restart our project. Okay, great. Now that we're back in our project, we can go ahead and close that plugins folder. And now, right here, we're going to open up this motion match folder. We're going to right click and we're going to create our assets now. So we're going to go to animations, motion match. As you can see here, we've got three different ones. We're going to start with the pose search schema, and we're going to use our skeleton. So we're going to do the skeleton here. So PSS underscore, and that's going to be called Manny. Control Shift S. We're going to now, okay, before we continue, something else to note is that while we've got our animations here, we're going to have to, as you can see, we've got them here. We're going to go back. This motion match folder here, we're going to need to go into the filter here one more time, and we're going to go to animations, something I forgot to do. And we're going to go to the animation sequence, which is going to give us all of our animations. We're going to left click, do a Control A, and then we're going to right click on one of the animations. And we're going to replace the skeletons, because when we export it, we really just only grab the animation. So let's go ahead and replace the skeleton. Skeleton we're going to use is going to be the same one we're using throughout the project, which is the default. Just do a left click and hit OK. And then, as you can see right here in the lower right corner, it says 150 unsaved. That's fine. What we want to do is we're going to do a Control Shift and S, and that will resave all of our animations. So now we have a skeleton attached to the animations. We can go ahead and left click here and reset the filter. Okay, continuing on. So we're going to right click, go to animations folder again, or animations, go to the motion match, and we want to do the pose search normalization set. So we're going to do P, S, and S underscore. We're also going to call this Manny, just to keep it simple. Control Shift S. Then finally, we got to do the animation motion match, the pose search database. Now we're going to make several of these, and we're going to use the pose search thing we just made, the schema from earlier. So here we're going to do PSD underscore, and we're going to call this base, because that's going to be our base movement. Control Shift S. So Now, with this highlighted, we left click and highlight it. We're going to need to make 5 more of these. So let's just go ahead and do a Control D and then hit enter. Control D, hit enter. That's Control D as in David or dog. Enter. Control D again until we have 5 of these. Now, we've got our base movement, but now we need our base crouch. So we're going to highlight this one here for the first one. We're going to do an F2, and we're going to go ahead and name this crouch. Continuing on, we're going to do the jump now. Now, we're going to need the actual rifle base. So we're going to need the rifle base. So we're going to do a F2 again. And right in front of the base, we're just going to type in rifle. And that'll give us our basic walk for rifle. Then we're going to need, hit F2 again, and we're going to need the rifle crouch. That's going to be important as well. Hit enter. Then F2 again. We're going to need, finally, the rifle jump. No, I'm sorry. Yes, jump. We need the rifle jump. And hit enter. Okay, so now that that's done, we need to make one more thing here. We're going to need our animation blueprint. So that's where we're going to, for our AI here, so we're going to use the same skeleton. We're going to create it. And we're going to do ABP underscore, and we're going to call this AI rifle. So that way we know that is our rifle blueprint. Control Shift S to save that. So we've got all of our assets here. We're going to go to the content folder, go to third person, go to blueprints, and we need to duplicate this third person. So we're going to do a Control D to duplicate. Let's left click. Control D. And we're going to call this BP, which is the blueprint, rifle AI. Actually, I could have, let me change that. I think we're just going to do BP underscore AI and then rifle. That seems better. And then what we can do here is we're going to go ahead and open that up so we can go ahead and start to create our character blueprint. Now, for this one here, you don't need the camera, so because this is going to be our AI, so it doesn't need the camera or the boom. Select both of those, and then just go ahead and you can delete those. However, we do need to make 2 components, and the first component we're going to need is the TRAJ, which is the trajectory component. Hit enter. And we're also going to need, it's going to be the sensing. So we need the pawn sensing component as well. Hit enter. We don't need any of the logic in this blueprint, so we can go ahead and delete that. And then we're going to make 2 quick variables here. So we're going to do we're just going to call it the char crouch. So that's the character crouch, and we're going to use a question mark because it's a Boolean. We're going to also add a char weapon mode and hit enter, and we're going to change that to an integer. And then we're going to select our mesh right here, and we're going to switch our animation class to the blueprint we just created, which is the AI animation blueprint rifle. And we're going to compile and save, and then just for the heck of it, Control Shift S, and that'll save it again. Okay, continuing on, we're going to need to make some custom events. So we're going to start with 3 of them. So we're going to do a custom, we're going to add a custom event here. And while we're at it, we're going to, let's see, we're going to duplicate this. So highlight it, do a left click and highlight it. Okay, so in order to, now we're going to need to duplicate this, like I said, about 2 more times. So we're going to do a hover the mouse down here, Control D. Well, first make sure we highlight it, Control D, and then we're going to do it again, Control D again. And then we need to rename these. So for the first one, we're going to call this our base mode. The next one will be our rifle mode. And then the final one will be our crouch mode. And then we were going to do a compile and save. Now, all 3 of these we're going to need again, but we're going to have to rename those as well. So we're going to go ahead and, just to make things simple, highlight all of them, go down here a little bit to the bottom, Control D, and we're going to go ahead and just name those real quick while we're here. So the first one is going to be random base walk. The next one's going to be random rifle walk. And then finally, we're going to do a random crouch walk. And we're going to compile and save that as well. Now, let's go ahead and go back up here to the top. Now we're going to need to use our variables. So we're going to hold down the control button, and for the char crouch, we're going to put one right here. Oh, sorry. Hold down the Alt button and left click and drag and drop the crouch. So we're going to drag and drop the crouch here. Now we're going to change the speeds for each of these as well. So we're going to change the modes. So let's go ahead and grab that as well. So it's Alt and left click here as well. And we're going to connect all these up. For the crouch, we're going to set that to true because we will actually be crouching, but whenever we're walking normally, we'll set it to false to have us walk regularly. Next, we're going to grab our movement component, put it right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to drag off of here, and we're going to set max walk speed, okay? We're going to left click on that, and then we're going to hover up here, Control D. Control D again. Now, remember, you're going to need to target the movement in all cases here. So we want to make sure those are all hooked up. Oh, that's my fault. There we go. And then we're going to hook those all up. Now, for our walk speed, so we're going to set the walk speed to 300. We're going to set the rifle mode into a run, so that's going to be 500. And then for the crouch, it's going to be a little bit slower, so we're going to do that at 200. Compile and save. Okay. Now, right above here, we're going to also add a begin play because we want our character to start walking, the AI to walk at the beginning of the level. So we're going to do an event begin play. And then right off of here, we're going to drag off, and we're going to grab that random base walk. So at the beginning, we'll do a random base walk. All right, and that should cover that. So now let's go ahead and work on our walk states here. Okay, so now that we're here, we're going to need to, as we do our random walk, we're going to go straight into our modes, our random walk mode. So we're going to do random base walk here for this one. random rifle walk here. Random crouch walk here. All right, let's go ahead and give them some space here. All right. Do a compile and a save. And then right here, we're gonna do a AI move to node, which is gonna look like this one right here. We're gonna stretch this out here just a little bit. And then for the pawn, we're gonna say it's ourself, so SEL. And then we're gonna need a destination. That's gonna be a, I want to say reachable. I'm trying to remember. Okay, yeah, it's gonna be a random. I want to say random reachable. Yes, we're gonna get this random reachable state here. And again, I want to move this over just a little bit because we're going to reuse this. And then the origin is going to be, we're going to get actor location. Okay. Now we're going to select all this. Actually, let me clean this up here. We're going to select all this here. Go down right here. Do a Control D. And then we're going to do a Control D again here. Okay, that looks good. So now we need to just make sure we hook these up. And then while we're here, we're going to go ahead, we can just neaten that up a bit. Now, on success, we're going to have it cycle back and we're going to do a, we're going to do a random. We're going to do the random base walk again. And then after this, we're also going to do it here as well. So Control D. And then finally, we're going to add a jump here. So we're going to do a regular jump there. Yeah, I'm going to switch that around. So we're going to hold down Alt, disconnect that, disconnect that. We're going to have a jump on completion first, and then going to repeat the cycle. So it'll only jump like once, because if we do it the other way, it'll just keep jumping continuously. So we're going to do a compile and a save. Okay, so now we're going to need to use our pawn sensing. So we're going to select the left click this, and we're going to scroll down until we see on C. Click that. And then for this, we're going to go right into our rifle mode. So let's go ahead to our random rifle walk, because we're going to start running with our rifle, and we're going to do that with an AI move tube node. And then for this case here, let's see, we're going to target the actor. That's who we're going to follow, and it's going to be ourself again. So we're going to use ourself. Then on success, let's see. Okay, so on success, we're going to do a print string. And we're going to change the color to red. And we're going to change the text here to bang, bang, you're dead. So the AI will say that, letting us know that he shot us. And then after that, he's going to jump. Then after he jumps, he's going to crouch walk. Random crouch walk. Compile and save. Okay, and that should cover it for our blueprint here. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to select our mesh, and we're going to open up our animation blueprint that we made earlier. So go into the animation class, the one we selected earlier. We're going to browse to that folder, double click to open it up. Now we're going to start in the event graph, get the try owner, and we're going to have to grab the blueprint initialize animation. And what we're going to do is we're going to drag off of here. We're going to cast to the blueprint of the AI rifle, because that's going to be our AI. So we're going to cast to him or her, or that person, depends how you look at it. Drag off here. We're going to promote this variable, and we can keep it as it is. So we can use that variable that we just created, form down here, drag it here, do a get. We're going to go ahead and compile and save. And then the first thing we're going to grab is the trajectory. So we're going to get trajectory. So we're going to get the trajectory. And then we're going to promote that to a variable and connect that up. Next, we're going to get movement. And we're going to line it up. We don't need this part here. We can connect this up. We can now promote this as well. Connect it up. Then here, let's see. Oh, actually, we're going to pull off of here again. And we're going to type in is falling, because we're going to get the falling movement from the blueprint. So if the character is falling, we're going to promote that to a variable as well. And we're going to say in the air. So in air is fine. With a question mark, enter. Connect that up. Then we're going to get crouch. And then we're going to also promote that to a variable. And then finally, we're going to get our weapon variable. So char weapon mode. Grab that. And for the final, we're going to promote that as a variable as well. Okay, and we're going to compile and save. Next, we're going to go to our animation graph. And then what we want to get is motion match. And we're going to grab the one under the pose search here. We're going to use this here to make a select. And what we're going to do is we're going to plug in our weapon to the wildcard. Make this nice and neat. Now we're going to need this particular setup 2 more times. So we're going to highlight it right beneath it. We're going to do a Control D. And then one more time down here, Control D. Okay. Move these a little bit. We can move them a little bit closer to each other. Okay, so to start out here, we're going to need to do a blend bool. So blend poses by bool. Now for this, we're going to need this to go to the false, not the true. We're going to do, while that's highlighted, we're going to Control D, do that again. And we're going to add it to the false as well right here. And then right here, we're going to need to add the pose history, which is right here. And then select this by right-clicking it. Go to the bindings, character trajectory, select that. And yeah, we can hook that up. Next, we're going to add a default slot. And I do this just in case you want to add your own, attack animations or dance animations and whatnot. We can move this right here, connect this up. Okay, so now it's going to be important that we hook everything up, but before we do, let's go ahead and add the different things we need. So for the start of it, we're going to need our base walk and our rifle base walk. So we're going to go to the rifle. See, rifle base. Next, we're going to go to our crouch. So we're going to get the base crouch. Oh, sorry. That should be up here. So rifle, we're going to do the base crouch right here. And then for the rifle crouch, we're going to do that right here. So make sure you select that. So so anything that's 0 is going to be, that's the mode for the basic. And then the 1 option is going to be the rifle. So then up here, we're going to need the jump as well. So we're going to need the base jump. And then we're also going to need the rifle jump, which is right here. So base and rifle jump, base and rifle crouch, and then base and rifle walk. Now, for the crouch, we're going to just go ahead and hook that up. So if it's true, we're going to activate that condition through the character crouch. Same thing with this. With the jump, we're going to set that for true right here. And to activate that, we got to be in the air. Right here. And then make sure you do a compile and save. Okay, so the blueprint and these two are done. So we can close out of that for now. We really won't need that now. So, and just to make sure, okay, we see here at the bottom we're all saved up. We're going to go to content folder. Now we're going to need to open all these. So we're going to have to add the animations to the databases. So we're going to do a left click here, hold down the shift button, and we're going to grab anything that says PSD, and then, we can make sure you don't add that, just PSD, right click, and then we're going to select the edit. Now, to keep things simple, we're going to start with the jumps. So we're going to go with the base jump first here. We're going to go into, we're going to type right here, we're going to type in jump loop. And then what we want is, we're going to open this up to the left here. We're going to get the unarmed jump. So yeah, we're going to grab both of these. I'm just doing a left click control, drag that up there. We're going to hit save, go to the rifle jump, and we're going to select the rifle folder. That's going to give us those loops. Do the same exact thing, drag and drop. And then as you can see here, there's a little star here. We can just go ahead and hit save. Star will go away, and then that's how you know it's saved. We're done with those. We can go ahead and close out of that. So we don't need the 2 jumps. We can close those. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the base crouch. Same thing. Type in crouch. Make sure that you're in the base crouch and you select the unarmed folder. We're going to select the first one, do a Control A to select them all. Left click and drag and drop them all in. And that should be good. Hit save. And we can go ahead, we can close the base crouch out. So we're just going to go to the rifle crouch itself and then drag into that. Hit save, Control A, and just delete that because we put the wrong animations in. Close that. Next, we're going to, okay, while we're in the rifle folder, we're going to select one, Control A. We're going to grab all the animations from the rifle folder and drag them into the rifle base. We're going to remove the jog and crouch. I'm sorry, the crouch and jump. So crouch, we're going to highlight it, same thing. Delete that. Jump. And delete that. So now we're going to go ahead and hit save. And now to the base, we're going to go to unarmed. Same thing, Control A. We're going to drag and drop that and hit save. Okay, now that that's all set, we can go ahead and we can close both of these out. Now, while we're in our level here, we're going to go up, we're going to hover over it like this. And what we're going to need is we're going to need to go to our quick add, and we're going to use a nav. This is so that way our AI can walk around. So grab the nav base bounds volume here, and then we can hit the R key, and we can expand this out. Okay, expand that out. Hit the W key, and then go right here and line it up, as best you can. Then hit the R key again. We're gonna shrink the sides down a little bit because it doesn't need to exceed everything. We can hit save, but hit the P key. See, highlight it. Oh, select the nav again. Nav. We're going to hit the R key again. Let's go ahead and zoom to a different position, and we're going to expand this up a bit because we hit the P key earlier. Let's see. So P is to turn it off, P to turn it on. And we want to make sure that everything's covered here. These are all the places the AI can walk. And then next, we're going to go and we're going to grab our AI. So we can go ahead and go to the content folder, third person, blueprint. And then we can take our rifle person, put him out here. And then as we're looking at him, let's see, yes, we want him to not face us because we're at the start here. Oh, we can go ahead and hit P to take out the thing here. But you can see everything here from the green line forward is what he'll look at. Okay, I just noticed something that I made a slight mistake on, and we're going to fix that. So go to the content drawer. We're going to open up the blueprint again. And right here where it says for the random walks, we need to change all these to the modes. So what we're going to do is we're going to get random, or we're going to get base mode. So we're going to replace that with this. Rifle mode. And then finally, crouch mode. Compile and save. Now, another thing I need to fix that I forgot about, which is right up here, is when we're setting our modes, we're going to make sure that the rifle mode is in the one mode. Otherwise, we won't switch between states. So we're going to compile and save. Okay, another thing I forgot. We're going to scroll down here, and we're going to need to set the radius on how far the character will walk. So I'm going to select 3,000 for all of these. So where it says random walking, we're going to, in the radius, select 3000. Okay, now that that's all set, let's go test it out. As you can see, the character's walking around, and then every time they finish their walk, they're going to jump in a regular jump. Then now they're chasing me because they spotted me. So I'm trying to get away. And then bang, bang, you're dead. And he walks away crouching. Notice that now he's changed states into the crouching. He's changed states. So now, after a little while, he's going to go back to walking. When he finishes walking over there, he's going to do a jump just to let us know he's finished with his state. And then if I kind of walk over here, he's going to see me and chase me. And you see that he's changed states. He's chasing after me. Then if I get caught, he's going to jump, bang, you're dead, and keep it moving into the next state. But notice, if he sees me again, he's going to keep doing it. Well, that concludes today's video. I hope you found this AI motion matching setup helpful and easy to use. And again, sorry about the long video, but I'll see you in the next one.